Are you still thinking of your domain name? Hey everyone, I'm Constantinos, and in this video I'm going to share with you 7 tips that will help you choose the right domain name. By choosing the right domain name, it will help you drive more traffic to your website and in the long term great success. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe to the channel so whenever we release new videos about websites and online marketing, you will get notified. The first tip I have for you is that sometimes it might be a good idea to add next to your brand a relevant keyword. Adding the right keyword next to your brand will help you rank higher on Google in general to the search engines. For example, if you own a jewelry shop and you are planning to create an e-commerce website, it will be a great idea to add next to your brand the word jewelry. The keyword should always be relevant to your niche, or otherwise you are going to look spammy to your audience. In the long term, it will help your brand. In order for you to find the right keywords, you need to have a look on Google and download the Chrome extension called Keywords Everywhere, which shows you the search volume of each keyword you are planning to add next to your brand. The link of the Keywords Everywhere extension will be included in the description below, so make sure you download. On the other hand, there are a certain amount of people that they don't really want to add a keyword next to their brand, and that's okay. For these people, it might look much more professional not having an extra keyword to their domain name, but it is always a good idea since the brand name might not be available through the registry. The second tip I have for you is to try to use the .com domain extension. This is one of the most popular extensions, and that's why I'm suggesting you to use. Through the years, this extension has become, by the most popular website, the most popular extension, but also the most expensive at the same time. I want to prove this to you with a test. I want you to think of the first website which just coming up to your mind, and if that website was a .com website, leave a comment with a yes, and if it was not, leave a comment with a no. So in this way, we are going to have a better looking if the .com extension is one of the most popular. In my case, the first website just came to my mind was YouTube, which has the extension of .com. In any case, the .com extension is not mandatory, and most of the registered companies provide more options of domain extensions like .blog, .shop, etc. that you can choose from. The third tip I have for you is that you should keep your domain name short. When I'm saying short, it doesn't mean that you should go for one word domain name, but most of the times, one-word domain names are not available or even too expensive, but this also depends on your budget. This does not mean that you don't have to check for it first, because you might be lucky, who knows. If it's not, you can always check for 2 or 3 words, but not more than maximum of 15 characters, which are always available. This will help you choose a memorable domain name, and keep in mind that websites with more than 15 characters are harder for people to be remembered and might be affect your website popularity in the long run. The next tip I have for you is that your domain name needs to be easy in terms of pronunciation and spelling. If your domain name is hard in terms of pronunciation, people are not going to remember it, and most probably when they are going to write it, they will write it wrong, as a result ending up to your competitor's website. If you are looking to make a brandable website, make sure you consider this tip in your list. You should always keep your brand in mind, because if you are going to choose a domain name that is not brandable, most probably your users are going to forget. Branding nowadays is a must, and you should make sure you include your brand name within your domain name. You need to understand that brands nowadays can influence a large amount of users, and it is a big factor of your company's success. The next tip I have for you is that you must not use hyphens, because most of the times your visitors, the next step they are going to search for your website, they are not going to find it easily. It will be a very hard time for them searching for it. As you can understand, hyphens can lead to confusion among brands and websites. Please avoid them. The last tip I have for you is that you should avoid using the same letters in a row within your domain name. This will help your website be much more memorable to your audience, and if they are going to see it across the web, they are going to recognize it much easier. Because you have kept watching till now, I have chosen to share with you a bonus tip that you should always be aware of. Before purchasing your domain name, you should always have in mind the trademark violation. This will help you avoid problems with any other company that already exists within the market. The trademark registration is something that not a lot of people are aware of, but is one of the most important factors before purchasing a domain name. It happened to me a few months ago when I had purchased a domain name of an existing trademark company. This was not something that I realized immediately, but after a week, and I had to change my domain name and my whole website as well. Once you have decided a domain name, the final step is to check its availability. This could be done by using a domain name checker tool. I have included a link in the description which includes a tool that you can use to check the availability of your domain name, and my blog post where you can find more tips about this subject. By following these tips for choosing your domain name, I'm sure that you are going to make the right choice. In case you are still struggling choosing your domain name, leave a comment. I'm going to come back and help you. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe, like, and share this video with your friends. And lastly, if you want to create your own website with absolutely zero coding in just 30 minutes, make sure to check out this video here.
For building the website, we are going to use a free and extremely popular content management system called WordPress. With WordPress and the right tools, we